Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today I am going to talk about my coffee that I'm drinking today. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But I will drink it. So today I am going to be talking about this knife. This Husky lockback knife. Don't remember the name of the knife. Don't remember the model. I don't think it had a model. But I wanted to talk about it, and I want to have this knife begin. It's not going to be a series, so don't worry about that, but it's going to be a philosophical talk about knives and how far we should go with spending on them. And so that's all I'm going to talk about right now with that idea. That's going to be in the works probably later in the week. But right now, let's talk about the Husky. This knife, I actually saw this knife on YouTube, and it was being reviewed by a young lady that was reviewing. I looked up the Buck Rival 2. And you can find this video of this girl reviewing 3 knives. One was a Benchmade, one was this, and then the other one was the Buck. And I saw this knife and I was like, I know that brand isn't too expensive. And I don't have a Tanto in my collection anymore. And this isn't really an expensive knife, so why not try it? You know, this is definitely going to be a toolbox knife for me. Especially since it has a coated blade. I'm not going to really worry about it corroding. So I looked for this knife. I went to Home Depot actually to get it. And because I couldn't find this on eBay, I couldn't find it on Amazon. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to go to Home Depot. I know they carry this. And so I went there, and I think this was about $6.75 or so, $6.75. So that is not an expensive knife at all. So one of the things I found that was really interesting was how the lockback actually works. This back part isn't even connected to the lock bar. So if you can see the spring is set here, and then it's pushing this way on the lock bar. And so this back end here isn't even being used. It's just to add weight or balance. So I thought that was a really interesting way you could do a lockback. Excuse me. So I thought that was a really interesting and unique way to do a lockback. And then I held it. This was after I bought it. I mean, you cannot do this when you are looking at it, because this knife is in a blister pack. So I held it and I'm like, it's not bad. Needs some jimping here. The blade is pretty stout. And so I opened it and I was like, well, this pocket clip, tip down only. Okay, I can deal with that. It's a $6 knife. That's fine. Then open it again and I'm like, okay, it feels good. But holy cow, there's a ton of blade play. Now, of course, it's a $6 knife. You're probably thinking, Mark, what did you expect? Absolute perfection. No, I did not. So I looked down there and I was like, okay, it has nylon washers. I know how to take care of that. Well, I'll tell you, this knife was not really meant to be taken apart. The manufacturer really did not want you taking this thing apart. However, I did take a soldering iron rod, and heated this up, and heated this side up, and that loosened up the Loctite. And so I had the blade out, and so what I did do is I added, and you're probably thinking this is overkill, but I do not like nylon washers. I just don't like them. They split, they break, they get too compressed. Then you're ending up pressing the metal liners together just to get it tight. No. So I put stainless steel washers. So now this knife opens up real good, real strong, good lock, no play. and no play at all side to side. It only looks like it's moving because I'm doing this motion. So yeah, this is definitely a good knife. This is nylon. It's probably FRN. They probably just didn't want to say, okay, it's fiberglass reinforced nylon, but it feels either like a hard plastic or a FRN kind of affair. But this knife really looks like it can do some work. I really wanted to get one of these because I missed having a Tanto. I have my GI Tanto fixed blade, but I wanted something a little more manageable, but definitely something that I could be using if I'm doing some work in the attic, if I'm doing some work. And let me just be clear, I haven't moved yet. So I don't know what work I'm going to need to do, but I'll tell you this, I'm not going to be buggering up one of my nicer knives to do it. So this is definitely going to be helping me with remodeling. It's going to be helping me with prying. I'm going to do everything you shouldn't do with this one, okay? And so I'm excited to see how that Tanto comes into play and into use. And I am expecting this steel to be relatively easy to sharpen up. I'm guessing it's probably a 3CR13 steel, which I wouldn't doubt it is. And I'm probably guessing that's probably around a 420 steel. So that probably will be just fine for me. So I'm excited to use this knife. I'm excited to see how it performs. I'm excited to see what I what I can do with it, and I'm excited to see where it leads me in my I guess themed video on cheaper knives. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and just me discussing what I did with this knife, did to the knife, and how I'm liking it. So if you guys like this knife, you can go and pick it up at your Home Depot. So there you go. Hope you have a nice one. And remember, have a great day or night wherever you are. I'll talk to you later in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.